Oh, what is the upskis, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXGamerCast. We're on episode 147 of my little gaming show where once a week I just have to talk about video games. Whether they're new video games that I'm playing today, old video games that I grew up with, it doesn't matter. Video games. And today, well, I lied. I said I was gonna do a Switch retrospective, just loving the Switch. Well, I beat Death Stranding today, and it's fresh on the mind, so instead of waiting a whole week and forgetting everything about the game, let's talk about it now, and we'll save the Switch for another day. The Switch ain't going anywhere, but my memories of Death Stranding are limited, so let's get in there right now, and we'll talk about Death Stranding. But before we get into the Death Stranding talk, let us discuss what I've been up to over the last week or so. As I always encourage you, the viewer, the listener, let me know what y'all have been up to. Did you get the Switch 2? Holy crap. I think it came out today. I don't know. Some people have gotten it early. Let me know. Did you get your hands on a Switch 2? Are you loving it? Did you get Mario Kart? All that jazz. I think I might be going out today. I might go take a peek out in the wild and see if I can find one, but I don't need one right now. I'm fine. I'm good. I got a lot of games to play, but let me know if you got a Switch. Let me know what TV shows and or movies that you're getting into right now, and let us discuss what I've been up to. All right. So I dove into dark side of comedy all by myself. I started watching it, like to pop on an episode before bed, and oh man, it's dark side. It's another great freaking show, and it's all about comedians, and I like comedy, man. Growing up, I was all about Jim Carrey, Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy. That was like my holy trinity of any of their movies. I watched all of them. Austin Powers, Nutty Professor, fucking Liar, The Mask. Oh my goodness, like that was my fuel. Now, none of those comedians are necessarily involved in this show, but I get to see sides of, like, I already know, comedians. If you're a comedian, you're probably have some trauma. You probably got some stuff going on. You might not, but a lot of these comedians have really fucked up lives, or something bad happened to them, and a lot of the time they turn to drugs and alcohol or worse to cope with these traumas and all that stuff. So far I'm 3 episodes in. I skipped the Chris Farley episode because I've seen a zillion things on Chris Farley, so I wanted to get to other comedians that I don't really know their backstory, like Roseanne Barr. Like, everyone knows Roseanne, but did you know that she was a comedian before she was in the show Roseanne? She was a very successful comedian, stand-up comedian, so her episode was really interesting. She took pretty much all these comedians take a pretty hard downfall. I saw the Artie Lang episode. That one was kind of, disturbing, how he was co-hosting on the Howard Stern show and clearly falling apart into going down into the abyss of drugs and alcohol, and like they just were blind to it and just let this guy continue self-destructing himself on live air. Like, holy crap. So Artie Lang, I remember, like, I seen him in some, what was it, Happy Gilmore. So he's just like a background character, not like one of his friends, doesn't really say or do much, but I was like, man, I remember this guy. Like, he's got one of those faces that you're like, man, I've seen this guy around. And yeah, man, the story of Artie Lang was really dark and sad. They all are, but yeah, it's in the name, dark side of comedy. You're gonna see the dark side of all this stuff. And it's great. It's another great show. I love all the dark side stuff, so I'll be going through that. And yeah, can't wait to get into more of that. And oh my god, it's finally time, baby. Survivor is back. I mean, it's done, but that's what my wife and I wait for. We wait for the season to be done, and then we get into it and we start binging. And oh yeah, baby, season 49. We are one season. Season 50 is gonna be fucking crazy, bro. But season 49 kind of almost feels like it's gone back old school, where like bonds and like what do you call it, a group factions will get made, and they're actually not as much backstabbing and betraying as usual. Like in the old Survivor, when you made a group, like that group was solidified from beginning till end. They rarely will break away from it, and it would make the show a little bit boring at times, where it's like, all right, we kind of already know what's going to happen here. this group of 4, they're going to just systematically take out everybody, and it's going to be these final 4, and then we see what's up. But in most of the Survivors that I'm watching, like the game is so much faster now, and yeah, people are just betraying and backstabbing each other way more than you used to. This season, like I said, it feels very close-knit. Like, these people are really connecting with each other. They're getting very, very close with each other, telling these really personal stories. Like, there's the girl, I actually love her. She's fantastic. Can't remember her name for the life of me right now. But she's got autism, and she's like, I am not going to let this, define me. Yeah, I'm going to work through it. And like, she's telling her story on the show. Is very, very nice. Very sentimental season so far. There's a lot of nice things. A lot of good people in this season. Like, I like the story of there's a stunt man on the show, and he's jacked, he's ripped, and he's seems like a swell guy, but he's broke as shit, and he wants to win the $1 million because he's currently living in a trailer in the front yard of his dad's house. And like, they were talking about it, and like, oh, what, does your dad have property? Like, he's like, no, man, like, I am fucking slumming it in the front yard of my dad's house. Like, I don't want to live this life no more. And like, he wants to better himself. So it's like, yeah, I can root for that. It's a good season so far. I am a little bit like, they're kind of promoting season 50. It's going to be a big one, man. Season 50 is going to be huge. I'm curious what they're going to do. Like, are they going to bring back a lot of the alumni, like the big hitters, and just kind of have like an all-star Survivor? And that would be really cool. So let me know if you're watching Survivor. I fucking love Survivor. Holy crap. And still watching some Andor. Only got 1 episode in this week. A little bit busy, and it wasn't that good of an episode. I think it was episode 6. I was just like, all right, whatever. Wasn't really anything crazy. And that's all I've been watching. No movies this week. I'm still recovering from Flow. That movie was fucking phenomenal. I've been telling people about it at work. Like, yo, like, have you, like, ask people if they've seen the cover of this movie. Like, yeah, I've seen that cover. I'm like, don't watch that movie, bro. And one of my friend's kids, his buddy was like, yeah, my kid watched that one, and she was like, never again. And I was like, yeah, bro, I get it. It's a one watcher because it's just so sad, but it's so freaking good. If you check it out, if you're willing to cry, go check out Flow. All right, let's talk video games. So obviously, Death Stranding has taken, I would say, 93% of my gaming time this week. I just couldn't put it down. I just really I just play Death Stranding all week, and every day going into work, buddy's like, oh, what are you playing? You still playing Death Stranding? I'm like, yeah, man, I wanted to play was it Monster Train or something 2? And we're trying to get to that, but I can't pull myself away from Death Stranding. And we'll get into why and all that stuff, why this game just sucked me in. But yeah, I want to get to Monster Train 2. I will hopefully get started on that tonight, now that I'm pretty much done with Death Stranding. You roll credits like 38 times in Death Stranding. It's fucking ridiculous. But I'm in the epilogue part now, so the main story is done, and now I'm just kind of just booting around, just seeing what else is left and what else I can do. But yeah, that's been doing that. And the only other game I'm still playing is Final Fantasy VIII. I'm still there, still playing it. Got in a few hours of it this week. I'm on disc 3 now, so we're getting there. This is taking me a lot longer than I expected. I just really haven't committed to the game. I am really only playing it when I'm watching Survivor, and even then, I'm not always playing it. I'm very engaged in Survivor. Some episodes, I'm like, ooh, this shit is wild. I want to pay attention. Other episodes, it's like, okay, I can game on this episode. Not a lot going on, so got a few hours in there, but I'm still a disc and a bit away from finishing off Final Fantasy VIII. I can easily say it's my least favorite of the 3 on PS1, but that does not make it a bad game. It's still a very good fucking Final Fantasy game, and eventually when I get through it, we'll discuss that. So that'll be fun, and that's all I've been playing. Pretty light week, getting into the Stanley Cup Finals. If you're watching that, let me know. That's more of a thing we discussed on the Hockey Cast, which you can check out. I'll plug that right here. I went into previewing that series. We're one game in now, and so far so good. It's that first game was awesome, so I've been watching that, and I hopefully will be watching some more of that Stanley Cup Finals. All right, that is it. Let us discuss Death Stranding from Kojima, baby. Let's get in there. This game is weird. Oh, hell yeah, y'all. We got Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus, a.k.a. Death Stranding. I forget who I heard that from, but I heard it on, it was on Pew Pew Bang. Fantastic podcast, all girl gamers. Jenna Garcia, fucking love her. Shout out, go check out that podcast, but I heard it on there and I was like, damn, that's fucking hilarious. She was actually telling a story how she was trying to hit on someone and Death Stranding was out at the time. She's like, oh, have you played that new Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus? And it did not hit. Anyway, I won't go further. Okay, let's talk about the game. Yeah, how about that? Death Stranding. So this is the first Kojima game that is not Metal Gear Solid. I did an episode on Metal Gear Solid 5. Fucking love that game. It was one of my favorite games that I played last year. Absolutely phenomenal video game. And so we know the kind of controversies of Kojima leaving. Kojima left the place he was working at. Anyway, he left there. It was a bad breakup, and now Kojima's off doing his own thing. He's doing great right now, bro. He's making movies. He's involved in everything. He's getting his hands in a whole lot of pies right now, and I've always loved Kojima. His games are just so wacky, weird, and this game is definitely not lacking in that Kojima weird, which is great. So what the fuck is this game about? You might have heard that it gets a lot of comparisons to a delivery simulator, and yes, you are delivering packages. That is a main thing you are doing in this game. You are going across the continent, the states, or I guess it's the cities in this of the United States. You're going all across the United States, reconnecting the world to each other and delivering packages along the way, because why not? You're going there anyway, might as well take some shit with you, right? All right, so that is the very basic idea of the game. You're in this kind of weird dystopian future where everyone's living underground. A Death Stranding has occurred, basically like a nuclear event, something like that. Everyone's living underground now, but there's these porters, and they're basically delivery men, and they are basically the superheroes of this world. They traverse the dangers of the grounds, and we'll discuss what those dangers are in a second, but they go out there, they're making those deliveries, and Sam Porter Bridges, the guy that you're playing, Norman Reedus, with a funky fetus, we'll talk about the fetus, but Norman Reedus, Sam Porter Bridges, he is the main delivery man, and he is building a reputation behind himself as a very useful guy out there, and he gets some of the useful orders, and one of your first main orders you get is delivering medicine to the President of the United States, who I don't know if I want to go into spoil. I'll try to avoid spoilers here. I won't go down that. So, but yeah, you got to deliver medicine to the United States, the president, and shit gets going, and yeah. So let us discuss the dangers that are on the surface now. Why are people all hiding underground and not want to be there? Well, there's this thing called timefall. It's rain. And whenever this rain makes contact with your skin, it ages you rapidly. So if you get caught out in the rain, boom, you're grandma, boom, you're dead. That's essentially it. So you got to cover up and make sure this rain is not touching you because it's bad. And on top of that, there are these invisible beings called BTs, beach things for short, for long, but we call them BTs. There are these invisible entities that are out there, and they will fuck you up. They will basically they're going to kill you, and if you you will turn into one of them, and if one of these things gets a hold of somebody and kills them, it will cause a void out, which is basically a nuclear explosion, and it'll just fucking decimate a massive, massive area. So people are avoiding these BTs that they can't see, but Sam Porter Bridges finds a way to see these things. And this is where the funky fetus comes into play. So you might have seen the cover of this game. You might have seen things about this game. You're like, why is there a baby? Why am I carrying around this little baby? Well, let me explain the reasoning behind the baby. The baby is called BB. We call them BBs, bridge babies. Why are they called bridge babies? Well, they bridge the living world to the dead world. So when you have this baby attached to you, it allows Sam to see the BTs that we want to avoid. They show up as these black shadowy figures, and yeah, you want to avoid them at all costs because it's bad. Within the first hour of me playing this game, I'm just trying to get my bearings around me. I'm trying to figure out mechanics and shit, and I run into one of these BTs. It touches me, it fucking grabs my ass, starts dragging me through, like everything turns into this black goopy tar stuff, and they start dragging me through this black tar lake, dragging me into the middle of it, and then all of a sudden this huge black goopy BT whale comes out, and it's crashing all over the place. I am running for my life. I'm like, what the liquid shit is going on right now? And that is where I got my first whiff of Kojima weird. I'm like, okay, this is wacky. I get away from the black goop and it just disappears like nothing happened. I'm like, wow. Alrighty then. So there's some weird shit going on here, but that's the basis of the game. You are reconnecting the United States with each other so that once you get to these, like, we'll just call them bases, you little bases all over the place where you pick up and drop off your orders and where people live, I guess. And you're just trying to reconnect everybody so they can share information, medical info, whatever. It's good to be connected. So we're reconnecting the world and trying to make it a better place to live in, one package at a time. So where do we go from here? Let's try and talk about the graphics. It's a nice looking game. Now, it never blew me away or anything. It looks very reminiscent of Metal Gear Solid 5, which is a great looking game. They use all in-engine graphics, I'm pretty sure. Like, there's cut scenes, I guess, more or less just scenes where you're just, they're just scenes. Then you go into the gameplay and it's seamless. There's no huge graphical fucking changes, but the character designs are quite nice, and you have a lot of like real world people in this game that are playing characters in this game. Norman Reedus, you got Mads Mikkelsen. Those are the two main ones that I know of. Other people, I've heard their names, like Troy Baker, but I only know them as like voice actors in video games. But Mads Mikkelsen I've seen in movies. Is he not a Bond villain? And then, of course, Norman Reedus from Walking Dead. I mean, Daryl, come on now. That guy is awesome. So it's a nice-looking game. I think the character models look really good. Now, the environments, in terms of where we are, you're in the United States, but like I said, it's kind of a post-apocalyptic area, time frame, so everything's a little bit gray, it's a little bit drab, there's not a lot of like stunning locales that I can really think of or anything. It's very gray. It's a very gray game. There's not a lot of bright colors. It's not a eye-popping game by any means, but it's not supposed to be, man. It's nailing its atmosphere. It's a post-apocalyptic America. So it looks like that. There are some snowy mountains you go to later on in the game, so you got some snow, which is a little bit different, but yeah, it's a fine looking game. There are some scenes in the game, like so Mad Mikkelsen's character, there are 3 times where this motherfucker pulls you back in time and he takes you back to wars. So he'll pull you back to World War I, World War II, and then Vietnam. And those are rather nice looking. Because you go back to, World War I, where we're in Europe, and you're just thrown into the middle of World War I. Same thing with World War II and Vietnam. Very, very nice. The Vietnam was a nice jungly area. World War II was like a I don't know, you're in the middle of fucking Europe and shit is going crazy. Really nice. Those areas were rather lovely. So I don't know. It's a good looking game, but I'm not gonna be like, oh my goodness, this is one of the most gorgeous games of all time. It's a great looking game. Looks really good, and it runs really good. That's important to me. The game, I had one crash. I don't really know why. It was happening during a pretty big cutscene moment. I guess it just had a moment. I had one crash. Outside of that, I didn't have any frame rate drops, no weird glitches. There might be some weird walking mechanics. We'll talk about that when we get to the gameplay and everything. But yeah, man, the game runs and looks very good. So I think we should get to the gameplay now, because that is where the game is rather a miss or it's a hit for you. And I completely understand. I've talked to a few people who are like, yeah, I tried it out, but didn't get very far into it. I just didn't find the connection with the game. And that's completely understandable, because early on in the game, it's very bare bones. It's basically just you and the package, your boots, and your fucking BB, and you're just kind of walking around. Now, I'll tell you right now, you are not fucking walking thousands of miles on your feet the whole entire game. You will get access to vehicles. Like, very early, I got a motorcycle, and I was like, oh, cool, I can just, instead of lugging all this cargo on my back, I can just get on the motorcycle and poof, we're gone. I don't have to worry about it. But the game, yes, it focuses in, there's a lot of walking going on here. There's a lot of traveling. That is what you're doing. You're going from this point over to that point to this point, making deliveries. And you'll start at this area, and it's like, all right, go travel over here. We're going to go connect this area. And then once you go over there, new fucking deliveries are available. It'll show you new areas that you can go to and link up those areas, and you'll get more deliveries from them. So the walking mechanic, it is a little bit tedious. It's a little bit fucking annoying. So you're walking around, so your trigger buttons are your grip for your hands. So you'll have to rather lean left or right, depending on how much cargo you're carrying. You carry everything on your back, and you can carry a lot, man. By like we'll get through the gadgets and everything, we'll get there, but by the end of it, you can carry like 250 kilograms of like 300 pounds on your back, and you can stack things like really, really high on top of each other. It's rather amusing looking sometimes. Like, you can have a lot of packages that aren't very heavy, but you have a lot of them, and you just stack them. Like, you're like 12 feet tall of packages. It's really funny looking sometimes. And then you're walking. So like I said, the mechanic, the walking feel will change depending on how much stuff you have. If you don't have anything on your back, you can sit there and run around. You won't be tripping. You won't have to manage your balance. You'll be fine. But once you start to add some weight, you got 50 pounds on your back, now you got to start worrying about terrain and where I'm walking. You got to make sure you realize where you're walking. You can hit a button, your BT will do this like scan, and it'll show you all the terrain. Like, it'll have red X's on not good terrain. It'll be green where it's nice, easy to manage terrain. Yellow for like iffy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you want to just make sure your balance, which can get really tedious. So, you're walking, you're pretty much just switching, you're holding the left, right trigger, then you're going for the right trigger, and then back over to the left. You can just hold them both and just kind of balance yourself, but then you're walking slower. So you don't want to be holding on to it the whole time. You're also draining your stamina. So you have a little stamina bar, and that basically plays for things like if you're crossing a little river, you're holding on to yourself, and if that stamina meter runs out while you're halfway across the creek, you lose your grip and you'll just kind of float down the river, and you got to kind of swim your way to a corner or something to get the hell back up. And it's about as tedious as it sounds. And let's say you're running down a big hill or something, you clip a rock, and now Sam is tripping. He's fallen over himself, and you got a moment to hold both the triggers to maintain his balance and get your grip, get your footing back underneath you, and you can save yourself. If you don't, Sam falls and he drops all of his shit. Gotta pick it all back up. BB is crying now. Now you gotta soothe the baby, which is, I was doing it wrong the whole game until around the end of the game I realized. So this is where the motion controls with the PS5 controller come into play. When BB gets upset, you fall off a mountainside, you fall down, you getting shot at, whatever. BB will get upset and he starts crying. And it's annoying. Baby's crying. Who in the world likes that? I mean, no one likes to hear a baby cry, especially me. So, yeah, I want that shit to stop immediately. So you stop, you press a whole bunch of buttons to get into the BB mode, and then you start shaking them with the motion controls. Little did I know, because I don't have a baby, I was supposed to shake him nice and gently, but I'm sitting there just fucking flinging this controller around, and I'm like, yeah, it's not working. What the fuck? Oh, well, he stopped crying, but he's not... BB also has his own little health bar thing going on, and yeah, I don't even really know what happens when it empties, because it hasn't really happened to me. I'm guessing that your BT viewing situation won't be working anymore if his health bar goes down, and all you gotta do is go back to base, rest in a private room, and everything's cool. But back to the walking mechanics. So yeah, you can trip and fall over rocks and shit, and it's annoying. You're pretty much constantly dealing with your balance while you're on your feet. Now, this is completely fine once you get vehicles, which, again, you get tons of vehicles. Not different varieties, there's just a lot of them around. There's just, kind of basic trucks, motorcycles, and, yeah, that's it. Trucks and motorcycles, that's all you got. You get motorcycles at the beginning. You'll get trucks later. And, of course, trucks are great because they got a bed. You can put a whole bunch of cargo back there. So much cargo. Hundreds and hundreds of pounds, dozens of packages you can shove in there. And then Sam doesn't have to carry stuff. He doesn't have to carry packages, but he will have to carry his equipment. And holy crap, do you ever get a lot of equipment in this game. And this is where it's really fun. Equipment usage is very fun. Now we'll start with the basic stuff. Basic stuff, like when you're just walking, these are the kind of essential gear that you need to take with you pretty much every time, because you never know what you're going to come across. You might come across a creek that's a little bit too deep, and you're going to have to find a way across that. And early on, you'll have a ladder, you'll have climbing rope and anchors, you'll have your boots, that's pretty much it. There's not a lot early, but the ladders are great. You're just oh, here's a cliffside. All right, I'll just lean that ladder up here, and boom, up you go. And the great thing is, you can be connected online, and other people playing, other porters out there, their ladder, if they set up a ladder there, it stays in your game too. So you can use other people's stuff, and it's great because I'm playing the game years and years later, and there's tons of fucking bridges and ladders and ropes for me to... I rarely even had to use my own shit half the time. I'd just be going, I'm oh, okay, there's already a rope, I'll go use that. Oh, look, cool, there's a ladder up here. Bam, I'm up on the ladder. But I must say, it is hella satisfying laying down a ladder across a creek, and you cross the ladder. It is very satisfying. It is. And fucking rappelling down a mountainside with your cliff anchors, that's some satisfying shit right there. I really enjoy that. And then you start getting really cool equipment, man. You get a lot of equipment. Let me just see if I have them written down here. All right, let's start with these skeletons you get. These are freaking awesome. So it's kind of like a robotic skeleton for your legs that'll make you move faster, fucking jump farther. It'll make you so you can carry more shit. They are awesome. And I believe it's the speed one that allows you to make these superhero jumps. You just be running and you just jump fucking 100 meters. It is awesome and extremely useful, especially if you get caught in with a BT. And whenever a BT grabs you, you get sucked into this lake thing. And to get out of it, you just got to escape the lake. And you don't have to fight it. You can fight it and kill it, whatever's coming after you, and then it'll go away. That takes way longer. If you just have the speed skeleton on, you just run and jump, and you just 4 or 5 jumps, you're out of that lake, and you're safe, and you're good to go. That one's extremely useful. I use that one a bunch. You don't get that one till later, but at first you'll just get kind of just a normal one. It just makes you run a little bit faster, allows you to carry stuff easier, maintain balance easier, all that good stuff. Another one that was really useful, especially for the later part in the game when you're in the snowy mountains, you'll get an all-terrain skeleton that allows you to walk in the snow normally and not have to trudge through feet of snow moving slow as molasses. Nah, you get yourself a all-terrain suit and you're good to go. And of course, all this equipment you can carry on your back, but just make sure, like, you don't want to carry every piece of equipment, or you're going to be overloaded. Make sure, like, you pay attention to the order. Some orders, they have, like, parameters, like, oh, I got to deliver it in 30 minutes. I got to not get it wet. I got to not drop it. It's very fragile, so on and so forth. But the skeletons are very nice, very, very useful, and you can carry multiple of them. They're battery operated, so you have to watch your battery usage. So you can sit there and just kind of walk around normally, but if you activate it, you start draining the battery. If you go in water, that really drains the battery fast. And there are these things called PCCs, which are basically, I don't know, like pop-up useful items. So you can pop up a generator, you can pop up a safe house, you can pop up online, basically like lockers, so people can put shit in these lockers all over the world. So like, oh fuck, I'm in the middle of this delivery and I need a generator. So it's like, bam, plop down a PCC, make it a generator, boom, it builds up a generator, and bam, you can recharge whatever you need to recharge. Very, very, I always had a PCC on me at any time, because you never know, you might not run into a generator on your travels and you'll be stuck in the middle of nowhere and you're like, I don't want to walk. And sometimes you get deliveries that are very, very heavy and you need to have a vehicle. There's no way you can finish it on foot. So again, you're always making sure that you're bringing the right equipment with you. You got boots, generally a good practice to bring an extra pair of boots. You have like a specific boot clip for that, which is very useful. They're boots. I mean, they even have, there's a certain plant that you can find out in the wild that can be used as boots if you happen to be in a really bad situation. I can't say I ever had that. My boot levels would rarely ever go down that low that I only had to change boots like maybe twice, but you can have a whole bunch of different kind of boots. Basically, they don't really do anything extra other than just their durability lasts a lot longer. You'll get access to floating carriers, which I don't even think I used one, honestly, because by the time I got a floating carrier, I had full access to vehicles and I just didn't need it. But if you wanted to, for some reason, complete an order, a very heavy order on foot, there might be some situations you may have to, because there are some mountainous areas that vehicles are very tedious and difficult to get them up there, so you may walk. Walking may be easier. And if you have a lot of heavy shit, you can attach a floating carrier to yourself, and it's pretty simple. You just attach it to you, and you put packages in it, and it'll drag behind you, kind of like a wagon. But the other cool thing you can do, you can also ride it around like a skateboard or a scooter. If it's empty, you can get on it, and you can like push it around. I did it once. I ate shit huge and dropped all my packages. I'm like, I'm not doing that ever again. So, but again, that's like another of that Kojima weird. Like, he just adds in weird shit like that all the time. Just weird little mechanics, weird things. I love it. So those are there. You got gravity gloves. Pretty simple. It's like a claw glove. If you're scaling up a mountainside, you slide down. It'll help you stop yourself a lot easier. Oxygen mask. Pretty straightforward. There are certain areas where there will be toxic gas where you will need to use an oxygen mask. And again, everything's like battery powered, so you gotta watch your battery. The silver hand, I never used it. Thermal pad is useful for the cold areas. If you're traveling in the cold, your stamina will go down a lot faster. So it's in good practice to put on a thermal pad on you. And with Sam, you can, not only can you attach shit to his back, you can attach stuff to his arms, his legs. Like, there is not a lot of wasted space on this man. He is using every inch of his body to carry stuff. So, and one of the best things is you don't have to do cargo management that much. Like, say you stack on a whole bunch of shit, you can just hit triangle and it'll auto just it'll make it as compact and good as it can be. So you don't have to worry about moving shit all the time. The only thing you got to worry about is like, oh, if I used up this thing, like say I have a gun and it doesn't have any bullets anymore, it's empty, just drop that shit. All you got to do is just drop it, and you don't have to carry an empty gun anymore. All right, what other weapons do we have? What other things do we have? So you can customize yourself. There's like a lot of very interesting customizable things that are also from other games. You got from Cyberpunk, you got V's glasses and his like face tattoos. There's what is it? Friedman's glasses from Half-Life. There's like characters from Horizon Zero Dawn. Like there's a lot of homages to other games, just kind of really strange. But I had this adorable otter hood. Whenever it rains, my little hood will pop up automatically, and it's a cute little otter. And when it deflates, it goes, it makes a cute little otter sound. Oh my goodness, man, it's so freaking cute. I love that shit. I love that shit. And there's more customization, like you can add different colors to Sam's backpack. You can change the color of his glasses. He's got a baseball cap. You can change the colors of all that. I don't know if you can customize the weapons, but anyway, since we're talking about weapons, let's talk about some of the weapons you get. First, you got this it's called a strand. It's just a rope that you can choke out people. There is some minor stealth elements to this game. Like there are enemies out there. They have like these, I don't know what the hell they're called. They're just basically like, I don't know, they're armored and they got guns and they're fucking out there. And if they see you, they want to shoot you. So you got to deal with those guys. Generally, I just drive past them. But sometimes you got to like go to their camps and steal shit from them. And then you got to actually deal with them. So you got a lot of things that you can use. So we'll start with the non-lethal stuff. So you got the strand. You could just choke him out. Pretty easy peasy, lemon squeezy, go night-night. You got the non-lethal assault rifles that shoot rubber bullets. And that's pretty much it for non-lethal. There's an electric gun that I just got that was actually really neat. I forget what it's called, but it just shoots electricity, knocks them out, really useful. You can also just run them over with a car. You can just smash them with a car. That'll knock them out real good. But you gotta be careful with killing them. That's why they give you the non-lethal options, because every person you kill has the opportunity to turn necro or whatever, and then if that kills somebody, that's when you get a void out and the game's over. That happened to me randomly like 3 times. Didn't know like really what to do. I tried to locate the body where I left it, and then you got to go take it to an incinerator and then burn the body to make sure it's gone. But whenever a void out happened to me and the game's over, I just reloaded and just did the same things that I was already doing, and it didn't happen again. So I really don't understand that part of it. It was rather like, I was like, oh shit, like what the fuck? Like the game is over? Like I didn't really understand that till it was like too late. But yeah, it's best not to kill people, because then you got to take those bodies. You don't have to, but then you got to take bodies to the fucking incinerator and burn them. And there was one time I just lit the fuck up. I just lit these some bitches up. I killed like 15 people, and then there's 15 dead bodies there, and I was just like, uh-oh, that's too many I can't take all that. Like, I was not going to spend like 3 hours picking up all those bodies, taking them to an incinerator, burn them all up. Like, nah, I wasn't doing that. So, with that being in mind, I pretty much went the non-lethal route, but you do have lethal weapons, of course. You got handguns, assault rifles, fucking grenade launchers. You got a huge missile launcher thing. That was awesome. Shotguns, grenades, stun bombs, all that kind of stuff. This is where it feels a little bit like you can still feel the Metal Gear Solid kind of feeling of Metal Gear Solid 5 to Death Stranding. You got all this, you can kind of build out your loadouts for every mission. You bring all this stuff. Just instead of being a stealthy espionage kind of spy guy, you're a delivery man. Yeah, you know, I will understand if someone was like, this game wasn't for me. Completely understand. It is kind of a hot and cold game. It's rather you loved it or you didn't. And I won't rag on someone that was like, yeah, I got tired of walking around and just delivering packages. There is more to the game than that. Like, there is a great story around the game, but I can't really get into it without spoiling it, because there are so many, like, what? Holy, wait, what? There's so many of those. Like, oh man, it's a pretty sweet story. I will give them that. I enjoyed it. Did I understand it all the time? Not necessarily, but now I get it because I watched an explaining video. So what other stuff do you got in terms of equipment? There's, you got your healing stuff. You have to use blood bags. So why you're using blood bags is because BTs, and this also goes to Kojima Weird. So Sam Porter Bridges is like a special case. He's called a repatriate, so he can't die. Whenever he dies, you like go underwater and you gotta find Sam's body, and then you just go back in it and you're back to life. It's strange, it's weird, I don't get it, but That's the power that Sam Bridges has. I can come back to life, not a big deal. But Sam's blood is also unique in that it hurts the BTs. So they start developing fucking blood rounds so you can shoot your blood at the enemies. It's really cool, but you're also shooting your own blood. And if you lose too much blood, that's bad. So you have blood packs with you at all times. They're attached to you, so when you lose blood, it's basically your health bar. You lose blood, the blood bag will activate and it'll start pushing blood into your body and refilling your blood. It's rather cool. A neat mechanic. It can sometimes backfire. You know, if you're in a big fight with BTs, you run out of blood, you run out of blood bags, you're kind of fucked. But for the most part, whenever there are boss fights where you're fighting a big BT creature or something like that, there's like these weird creatures that are throwing you equipment all throughout it, so I never had a problem. They're throwing me blood bags, they're throwing me ammo, they're throwing me anything that I would need, so that's really key. Another thing that's really cool, this goes into the Kojima weird, whenever you go to your private room, you know, you gotta relax every once in a while, you gotta let Sam sleep and fucking clean himself, and you can take a shower. Of course, you get full view. You don't get to see the front end, but you see lots of bum going on here. You could skip all that. It's okay. But you take a shower and like they utilize everything, man. Like the gunk that comes off of you, they turn that into grenades. You take a shit, they turn your shit into grenades. You take a piss, they turn your piss into grenades. So you're sitting there throwing shit bombs, piss bombs at enemies. It's hilarious. Also, your BB can take a piss. It can pee on people. I actually never used it. Sad on my part. It does happen in a cutscene that's rather funny, so you do get to see it. I didn't find a use for it, but again, Kojima weird. It's there, it's delightful, and it's so freaking weird. And there's a lot of weird shit that goes on in this game, man. There was one moment, I was telling my buddy, because he just finished playing it as well, and I was like, man, I went into my private room, and like, lights went out, it was dark, and then I looked over at the shower and there was just this fucking shadow figure in there and it started like jittering around, really fucking unsettling, and then it jump scared me. It just popped out and went blah, and I was like, what the fuck, man? Jesus. So that was unpleasant, but there's just a lot of weird shit that's gonna randomly happen in this game, and that's all a part of experiencing it, man. Like, yes, a good chunk of the time you are just delivering packages, but it is hella satisfying. Not so much the traversal. So let's talk traversal, because this is where I got some problems. Let's talk about the trucks. Those trucks sometimes have a fucking mind of their own. I shit you not, I can put the controller down sometimes and the truck is just driving not in any direction I'm telling it to go. It's backing down. It's just, sometimes it is absolutely infuriating to drive these trucks, especially when you're going to some of the more complicated areas and you got to go up mountainsides and you're trying to drive over these big rocks and you're getting stuck constantly. It can get tedious. Absolutely. There were some areas that I just avoided. I think one place was called Elder, and it was just a little old man tucked away in the top part of a fucking snowy mountain. Pain in the ass to get to every single time I struggled. And I just said, fuck you, bro. Like, I'm not coming up there unless I have to. Like, I'm not going out of my way to come up on that mountain and fucking deliver your fucking shit. Like, no more of that. But what is really addicting about the delivering is it's all about efficiency. So it's like, all right, I'm going to this place. Well, since I'm here and I'm going there, let's grab this, and that package. It's along the way, so I can stop here and I'll stop there. Oh, well, when I stop here, I got some more deliveries that are also going that way, so I'll take those as well. Oh my goodness, man, it's so satisfying. I love doing that. I love efficiency, so I was just like, how can I fit as many packages? I'm going that way. How many can I fit in? All right, let's stop in here. I'll pick up this. I'll drop that off and then grab this. And it's like, oh yeah, I love doing that. It's very satisfying delivering. Like when you get there, you go to the terminal, you put in the fucking order, and it goes down the little tubey thing, and then the guy pops up and he's like, Sam, hello, I love you. Thank you so much. And then they grade you on how good you did on the delivery. So that ranges, depends on the delivery. Some of them don't have any parameters, just fucking get it here whenever you get it here. Preferably not destroyed, but it can be like 80% fucked up and I'll still take it, no problem. But for the most part, it's really easy to, get the packages there without them being fucked up, especially when you're on vehicles. That makes everything so much easier. But they also have some really interesting, like, physics mechanics that I didn't really think of because, video games. Sometimes video game, and they do things that aren't like in real life. But I was on my motorcycle, and I had a big bunch of packages stacked up really high, and I went under a low bridge, and my packages hit it, and all the packages just went flying off, and I was like, oh, damn it. I thought maybe I had an invisible wall through it, and I just, glitched through the wall. Nope. All my packages went flying. I got to go out and get them and shit. And also along your travels, you'll find other people's cargo. You'll find like someone fucked up and they dropped something and you can pick it up and you can bring it back to where you're supposed to take it, or you can take it to the closest distribution center and just drop it off there and it'll get entrusted to another player. Pretty fucking cool. I really like the way that you can interact with each other in the game. You're not actively seeing other people in the world. We're all in our own world. There's like NPC porters that are walking around. You can say hey and whatever, make fun of them. But you can like share stuff. You can make requests. So you have all this materials that you're picking up. There's like metals, ceramics, fucking alloys, and all that shit. And what you're using that for is to rebuild the roads. So, and this is very unfortunate. We'll get there. But you build the roads. You come up to these things called auto pavers. And it's like, all right, I need 400 metal, 500 of this, and 300 of that, and I'll build a road. And roads are fantastic. You build the roads, boom, it builds a nice highway, nice smooth road. And when you drive on it, it doesn't take any battery power. So you can just rip. And the only problem is it takes a lot of materials and there's a lot of auto pavers. So I made a lot of roads, man. I would say I got like 75% of the United States paved up with some roads, a nice highway that I can go through and get to places a lot easier. There's even one highway that'll take you right through the middle of the mountain. That'll save you so much time. Instead of going all up and around the mountain, you could just cut through the middle and get to the other side of the continent way faster. So that one's highly recommended to get done. But then those ones take like 3,000 metals and 3,000 ceramics and all this shit. And then there's this special like crystal shit that is spread all throughout the world that you got to pick up. Picking those up all around, so you gotta get a lot of that. And the worst fucking thing that they do, they destroy all your roads at the later part of the game. They're just like, oh, this happened, all the roads are gone, sorry. So like all that time that I put in, like I would just do that as my own thing. I'm like, all right, I'm not doing any delivering right now. I'm just gonna go to a distribution center, and when you go there, every center has its own amount of equipment. You got to use that stuff to, make your ladders, make your fucking robots, whatever equipment you need. And then whatever's left, you can go take that to the auto paver. And I would just make trips back and forth from distribution centers, go to my auto pavers, build up my roads, and then bam, I'm traveling on roads instead of having to, get over rocks and get over creeks and battle through enemies. Nah, I'll just be up here on my road and I'm safe and I can just fly by anything that's a problem. It's fantastic. But the last like eighth of the game or so, there's like, yeah, all those roads that you put all that time and effort into and all those resources, yeah, they're all gone. Every one of them. I'm like, fuck, that is not cool. So that sucked. So take that with a grain of salt. They're extremely useful, but at one point in the game, they will all be gone again, and you're going to be like, fuck, that felt like a waste. That's not really cool, but it is what it is. So with that, other people are helping you pave it as well. You don't have to put in all 3,000. Like, I can go up to an auto paver, and it's already like half filled up. So I just got to fill up the rest, and boom. And we share stuff. So, like, they can use my roads, and you're getting likes. That's kind of like how you're leveling up. Every order, you'll get an amount of likes. All right, this order will give you 100 likes. This order will give you 20. If you return this package, If you return it to the right place, I'll give you 150. If you return it to a distribution center, I'll give you 20. You still get something, but you get a lot more if you bring it back to its proper destination. So when you're getting these likes, Sam starts to level up. He'll level up his abilities, so it's like, okay, I can carry more, I move faster, my balance is better, so on and so forth. But the leveling is so strange. Like, they give you a title, and it just doesn't make sense. It'll be like, all right, I'm a master deliverer, and like, I go from master deliverer to courier. I'm like, how is a courier better than a master deliverer? Like, what? I don't know. Wasn't really worried about that, but you're leveling up. It's cool. I was like level 200 and fucking something. So you level up rather quickly and a lot. So it's really nice to get the likes. And every time I start up the game, it'll just shoot me like thousands of likes because people were using my roads, they use my ladders, they use my ropes, whatever. Everyone's like connected and we're all benefiting from each other. It's really awesome. It's a working together situation. I really enjoyed that. But I don't know if I made it clear that I do have a little bit of a problem with the traversal in this game. So I did say, like, one of the most annoying fucking things that can happen to you in this game is when you're going into a BT fucking area and you're driving your truck and your truck is big and it's not that agile. It can't make good fast turns or anything. And you touch a BT, all of a sudden, like, your truck sinks into the ground. You get dragged out of your car and then you get pulled like hundreds of meters away and you gotta fucking travel all the way back. That's gotta be one of the most annoying fucking things that happens into this game. I finally found out that you can actually escape that if you're in your truck and that happens to you. The second they open that door and try and drag you out, you hit that boost button and you get the fuck out of there, bro. You will get away. So I wish I knew that earlier. Whenever a BT touched me, I'm like, oh, well, I'm fucked. And I just let it happen. I got dragged out. Some whale chases me. I run away. And then I'm back on my travels. I'm back in my truck and off we go. And I don't know if I mentioned that, but the trucks, everything, they have batteries. So you can't just be riding your freaking trucks all over the place. You got to make sure that, but like I said, there's the people are putting generators all over this motherfucker. So there's really not a great chance that I did run out of batteries sometimes, but honestly, I could just walk a few hundred feet and there's going to be another vehicle just sitting there and I could just take it. So like, yeah, the community is really nice. They have a lot of great stuff that I can just use, but I would say sadly the thing that's like probably the least awesome thing about this game is the traversal, which sadly you're doing so much of it. And I'm having a really difficult time like trying to figure out like why I loved it so much. I think it's just the satisfaction of successfully delivering the packages, not so much doing it. Like I didn't mind traveling because it was a great podcast situation. Like I could sit there, pop in the podcast. I'm like, all right, I'm traveling over here. I'm just doing some packages. I'm just chilling out. I'm listening to a podcast. That definitely helps. I mean, if you're not listening to anything, yeah, it can be pretty boring because there's no like radio or anything. There's like no one really to talk to in the game. Every now and again, they'll put on a nice song for you, but for the most part, it's just you and your thoughts. So I think this is a fantastic podcast game because it's kind of like road tripping. There's a lot of driving. If that doesn't sound like your kind of game, admittedly, it didn't sound like my kind of game either. And that's why I didn't play it for so long. So I'm like, that just doesn't sound fun. And sometimes it isn't, but I just don't know what it is, man. I really don't. The combat, the little combat that there is, there's times there are some boss fights, and the combat's, like, the shooting feels just like Metal Gear Solid 5. Third-person shooting, yeah, it's completely fine. I like the boss fights. They were fun. All good there. I guess we should probably talk about some of the characters and stuff like that. There are some pretty awesome moments that I'll talk about here. There's one moment where they try to trick you into, like, planting a nuclear device, and Sam Bridges is like, fuck that shit. We throw that shit into a tar lake, and it blows up in there. We're like, hell yeah, that was awesome. There's a part where you get up to this giant tar lake, and you got to get across it, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, I don't know how to cross this shit, and I just went into it, and that's all you got. You got to walk into it, and then you get into a fight with the BTs, and then you gotta like dodge this ginormous whale, and it's just crashing all around you. Buildings are like popping up from the ground. You're like, what the fuck is going? It's so cool. That part was awesome. Really, really cool. Kojima really, really likes his whales. There's another final fight. You gotta fight another whale, which is, he really likes his whales. Did we not get the whales in Metal Gear Solid 5 as well? Like, what's up with the whales? Why is there so many freaking whales? All right, let's talk about some of these characters. We talked about Sam pretty good. I like him. Norman Reedus. We talked about the funky fetus. Let me talk about one moment with the fetus that it was to be. I should have broke down bawling my eyes out at this scene. I won't go into details of what you're doing, but it's an end scene, and it's incredibly sad, and like you're doing the long walk, and the very sad music is playing. You're like, but then, they're like, okay, you got to go scale this mountainside with no equipment, no map, no fucking nothing. I'm sliding down this mountain during what is supposed to be this really sad moment, and I'm getting furious. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is fucking ridiculous. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. And literally, it happened again. I turned it off, came back to it today. It literally took 3 steps and I was there. I was like, what the fuck is that? So weird anyway that what was supposed to be a heartbreaking moment ended up being like a really annoyed moment for me. And then it happened. I was like, oh, okay, that's really nice. That's really nice. The game does suffer from multiple false endings, which didn't bother me that bad because I guess I kind of knew that they weren't going to be real endings, but regardless. Back to the characters. You got Deadman. Deadman's pretty cool. He's played by Del Toro. I forget. I don't know what his fucking first name is. But he is basically Frankenstein's monster. He's like, you can see this big scar across his forehead, like his fucking, they transplanted a brain into him, and like he is made out of all these random pieces, but he's a living entity, and he walks around, and he's friendly with Sam, but he also gets really close with BB. And there's a part in the game where you get separated from BB, because BB gets like kind of sick, and he's got to like reset, so he goes with Deadman. The names in this game are pretty fucking bad. Like Deadman, that one's okay. Just wait till you hear the next name. We'll tell you in a minute. But there is a scene with Sam, BB, and Deadman that just twisted a knife. It was so sad because Sam and Deadman really got attached to BB like it's a real baby. Like it's a baby. It's a baby. And that shit got really sad. I like Deadman's character. He's a cool guy, man. He really helps out Sam. There's a part where he basically is like, yo, I know, like, this is wrong, but I know you need to do this, and I'm going to help you out, basically, and make sure you don't get in trouble. And, like, he's a good guy. I like Deadman. And then you have Die Hardman. Die Hardman. That is a name and a half right there. Terrible name. He's an okay character. He's kind of sketchy. I don't really know whose side he is on, but he's got a pretty major role in the game. You got Mad Mikkelsen's character. His name is Clifford Unger. Man, his entrance was so fucking cool. First time you see this guy, he like pops out of the Black Sea, and he's got like these World War I fucking soldiers attached to him, and they all come out like skeleton soldiers looking fucking cool as shit, and he's just like, just fucking signals them like, go. And he is like this war hero veteran. Like, this guy never lost a single soldier in all of his fucking missions and shit like that. The guy is a badass. And you have a few boss fights with him, and like I said, each one takes place in a different war. You got World War I, II, and then Vietnam. The Vietnam part, oh man, that was a little fucked up. That shit was hard, man. You gotta like, so like, he's got his group of guys, and you gotta go chase them, track them down in the jungle, and shoot them. But man, you gotta do it like 4 or 5 times, and it's a big firefight, man. I got taken out a handful of times, had to do it over and over and over again. Wasn't so awesome, didn't love that one. But I loved Cliff Unger's character. I thought he was awesome. You know, the guy I think I liked the most, though, was Higgs. Higgs is like Kojima weird personified. This guy is strange as fuck. He is voiced by Troy Baker. I love this character, man. He's kind of like Sam. He's got weird powers that only he and Sam share, but of course this guy's using them for bad stuff, but he can like control the BTs, and he's the one that summons these big BT entities and all that shit, and he's trying to stop you. And of course, in Kojima fashion, you gotta have that fighting game boss fight, just like in Metal Gear Solid 4. This one's pretty good too. I like the fight. There's some good slow-mo moments in there where you do a nice slow-mo uppercut and you just see all that slow impact into the face. Really good. I love that guy's character. And now there's a character that makes a cameo appearance, and I was so happy about this. Conan O'Brien is in Death Stranding. I couldn't fucking believe it. So I was making a delivery to the cosplayer, and I go there, and some girl answers, and she's like, blah, blah, blah. She's saying some shit. Then some guy pops up, and he's got his face covered, but I'm looking at it. I hear in the voice, I'm like, homie sounds like Conan O'Brien. I do more deliveries. Get a close, like the more deliveries you do for each place, your relationship gets better. You get stars. If you get all 5 stars, they'll give you a star that you can wear on your leg, and it looks really cool. But then all of a sudden, we get closer, boom, pops off the freaking hood. It's Conan O'Brien, and I love that, man. I know some people don't like Conan O'Brien, but I will always love him because he was involved with the greatest seasons of The Simpsons. He was a writer, and I love that man. So, Conan, amazing cameo appearance right there. Freaking love that. That was very awesome. I was very happy with that, and I think that's pretty much it. All right, let's try and wrap this up. It's a very hard game to talk about because the thing that you're doing the most isn't that great. It's not that great. Like it can be very tedious at times. There are certain deliveries that are very tedious. A lot of them are just, going to point A to point B. I'm very excited to see what they've enhanced in Death Stranding 2 once that comes out, because I've heard great things. And I'm very excited to see what they have done with the gameplay to make it a lot more fun, because it's kind of eh. So let's score this thing. Let's go through it. The cons. Like I said, traversal. We just talked about it. It can be a real fucking pain in the ass sometimes. It really, really can be. And that's really all there is to do. You're just delivering packages. There's no side hustle. There's no races. There's nothing else to do other than deliver packages and deliver lost cargo. Like that's really all you're doing, and you're getting the story. The story is why you keep coming back, right? At least that's why I came back. The vehicle controls can go fuck themselves sometimes. Holy crap. Especially those trucks have a mind of their own. They can literally, I can be going right as hard as I can, and that truck is going fucking left for some reason. I do not know why. Yeah, it can be brutal sometimes, the controls on those trucks. Now the pros. I think delivering is very, very rewarding and satisfying. It feels great to deliver a package. I don't know what it is. The serotonin that you get from all those levels going up and all the thumbs up that you're getting, like, yeah, I like this. There are a lot of cool tools and gadgets to play with. I thought they were really fun. You got that Kojima weird. You definitely have Kojima weird in this game. Like, when Sam dies, you have to enter the water. You go down into this water and you got to find Sam. And then you, like, enter his mouth, and then down inside of him is a baby, and the baby, sometimes you see its bum, sometimes you see its face. There's so much Kojima weird in this game. This might be the weirdest Kojima game. It's very possible that it is. There's a part where Troy Baker's character steals the lady, and he like smacks her bum, and her bum jiggles. You're like, who designed the butt jiggle in that game? Like, who was behind the butt jiggle? Like, there was special work put in the butt jiggle. It's a weird game, man, and I'm all there for Kojima weird, and this game is super Kojima weird. I like the characters in this game. Deadman, Sam, BB. Even though BB doesn't say a word, I would fucking die for that child. Troy Baker's character was so cool. He's licking people and sniffing them and just being weird. Loved him. The story was really good. I should touch on it a little bit more. So, there's been 5 extinctions in the history of the world, and we're on the brink of the 6th one happening in this game, and we're trying to figure out who the entity is, what's going to happen, how to stop it, so on and so forth. So that's the other half of the game. You're also trying to stop the end of the world. How is it going to? We don't know yet. And there's a lot of mysteries of this game. There's this thing called the beach, and I'm not really. The beach is basically purgatory. It's this kind of lost space in between life and death, and you're there quite a few times in this game. It's strange. So it's a very interesting story. I'm very excited to see where it goes next. I think graphically the game is really good. The voice acting is awesome. The music is the music. Like it's a, I don't know. There's songs. They're good. They're a little, I don't really know what the word, pretentious? I don't know. They're like very, very indie, soft. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. The music wasn't slapping for me. I wasn't like, oh, that's some good jammies right there. Like, no, they're all kind of like dreary and slow and stuff like that. It fits the theme of the game, absolutely. I wouldn't want like Welcome to the Jungle, Guns N' Roses playing while I'm playing this game. That wouldn't really fit the theme of the game, but that's just me. The soundtrack was there. It fit the game, but it didn't like blow me away or anything. But I think the cast of characters is awesome, and I love seeing like real, well-known actors in my video games. Like that's really cool. And I thought especially Mads Mikkelsen's character crushed it. Fucking love that character. Really cool. And a really cool game. Now, how are we going to score this thing? It's tough. I'm going to give it an 8. 8 out of 10. It's a great game, but it is not for everybody. Absolutely not. It hit for me. I enjoyed delivering. I enjoyed most of what the game was giving me. There were some deliveries that fucking pissed me off, and there were some tedious things about the game that annoyed me, but I put in 50 hours on this game. I couldn't stop playing it. I couldn't really pull myself away to play any other game other than this one because I was engaged with the story. I just liked this game. I thought it was really, really fun. I'm going to hit it with an 8 out of 10. It's a great game, but I don't know. I would say play this one before you play the second one because it sounds like the second one is going to fix pretty much all the tedious stuff that is the gameplay. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to get my hands on Death Stranding 2, but check it out, y'all. If you got PlayStation Plus or whatever, I played the Director's Cut. I don't know what they added to the Director's Cut, but it was a great game, man. I really enjoyed Death Stranding. And there we go, everybody. Another episode done. Let me know if you have played Death Stranding and what did you think of it. Was it a hit for you or was it a miss? There's a couple of friends at work. One guy, he put in 200 hours into Death Stranding. The other guy could barely get into 10 hours. So it is very a love or hate game. I'm going to go on the side of love. Love is a strong word. It's not going to win my game of the year or anything. It's probably in contention right now, but it's not a front runner. It's a great game. I don't know. Check it out, man. Like I especially if you like Metal Gear Solid, you like Kojima, you like weird, you like something different. This is a different game. I can't say there's anything quite like it out there, I don't think, but give it a shot yourself. See what you think, and let me know what you think of Death Stranding. There we go, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. You the best. You want to be even more of the best, though, make sure you're reviewing and sharing the podcast around wherever you're listening to it. You can drop a comment on Spotify, send a question in. Anything about wrestling, video games, or hockey would be preferred. I'll shout you out, answer your question on the pod, and I upload all these episodes to the YouTube channel, GamerGX Videos. You can go over there, subscribe. Again, drop a comment on there. Answer any of your questions. I got a Twitter page. All the links are in the description. You can go check them out. And in terms of what else we got going on with the podcast right now, we got the Hockey Cast just did that on Tuesday, previewing the Stanley Cup Finals, and I did get started on my off-season, all 32-team off-season thing. So I did Dallas and Carolina, I do believe. So started there, doing that. We'll be doing that all summer, and the next GamerCast should be the Switch, unless I happen to finish Final Fantasy VIII or something else crazy grabs a hold of me and I have to do an episode on it. And then the WrestleCast, we got the weekly recap coming, and Money in the Bank is this weekend, one of my favorite pay-per-views, so that'll be very excited. I cannot wait to watch that tomorrow. That'll be awesome. And yeah, there we go, everybody. One more time, you are awesome, and I'll be back again with some more GX Plus Cast.